Okay, I believe you have many questions. Is that true? So how do we start? Or you want me to ask you questions? Okay. I think I was like your size in 1970s. Actually I was smaller. 1970, yeah. I was 20 years in 1978. Yes. Some of you are bigger. So what do you want us to do? How can we serve you?
Hare Krishna.
Shri Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes, Prabhu.
First of all, thank you Maharaj for your wonderful classes. And Maharaj, we are little eager. We are very much eager to know about you, how you came to Krishna consciousness, and and all about these things.
They are very eager to know about me, how I came to Krishna
consciousness. Yes.
Yeah, it's there are so many ways of answering that question. One of them is karma. I had a karma to become a devotee, maybe. Because I think in the beginning, when I was a student, I saw Hare Krishna people. I think I must have been 21, coming from college. But I didn't really, I didn't understand who they were. They were selling magazines. And then I saw them again when I was working. Yeah, that's when I started to inquire. I would say my life was full of questions because I was born at the time, the country where I come from was like Russia. In Russia they had a communist system of the Soviet Union. We had the country where I come from, we had apartheid, which is racial discrimination. Yeah. So we had that system. So as a young person, I was always wondering why things were happening the way they were happening. And so then I was a Christian. My father, my mother, we were Christians. I was a Christian, but I was thinking maybe there is more to what is happening. So then I started finding some answers. So then I met Hare Krishnas. I just met them, they were on Harinam actually. And then they were distributing some invitations to those who were interested to come to the mandir. So I got one invitation. That's how I came. And then I had some questions. They answered my questions when I visited the temple. And then I came, maybe I went to the temple twice. And I joined. Yeah. Well, now the reason why did I join very shortly after meeting devotees? I would say I was suffering. Yeah. So when you are suffering and then you found a solution to your suffering and then you come out of suffering quickly, you just run out of your suffering. So what was my suffering? In my country, we had a system of apartheid. So the people like me, they were a very lower on a scale. The white people were first-class citizens in our own country, ruling us with the iron fist. And then those who are of mixed race, like someone whose mother maybe black and father white, is called mixed race where I come from. They were second class because they had some European bloodline. And then the Indians were third class people, those who come from India, and then we were fourth class. That's how this government system was designed. So for us now in Indian people, it meant you have lower class schools, lower everything. And then we had to build our own schools. Yes, the parents will put the money together. Even in most of the universities that we went to, they were built by our parents. They put money together, built college, built universities. So it was like, I grew up around that time. So if you were found in a white area, you were arrested. Even in the city, there were area for Africans and Indians to go. If they were found on the other side, they were arrested. So it's quite tough. And then, because I took mining engineering, mining was dominated by white people also. And they were very tough. So then I was wondering why this, if there is God, how did he allow or empower these white people to come all the way from Europe and do as they please with us? How does that happen? And I was interested in understanding, but my religion could not really answer those questions. Because my religion also was kind of like, it came with the white people. So they changed the Bible to say that they are superior. They made God white, angel white, only the devil was black. So even the religion, they've set in such a way that you thought that they were right. Everything that they were doing, they were right. Yeah. They painted the angels white like them, God was like them, Jesus is like them, only the devil is black. Yes. So anyway, suffering made me ask questions as to why things were happening the way they were happening. And then, of course, I met devotees who were on, well, the first group that I met, they were doing magazines, but I kind of like I didn't talk to them. And then the second time I met devotees, they were in Harinam. Yeah. I wanted to know why they were singing on the street. And so that's how I came to the temple. And then I came to the temple maybe twice. I visited the temple twice. The third time I joined. And as a full-time devotee up to this day. I think for me, I am different even amongst the people where I come from. Because when I was a young boy, one Christian seer who came to treat me when I was sick, he told my mother, this boy will become a monk. I can see in his speech he will be wearing robes. But and then the time, I didn't think that will happen. I don't know, that will happen. And then actually what happened to me is how that Christian seer saw me when I was a teenager, that in my life I would become a monk. So that's nothing of karma. I had that karma to become a monk. Yeah. So when I became a brahmachari, people were surprised. Because I was working, I was a smart boy, they thought I was smart. How can I just leave all that to become a brahmachari? And then they taught me I will be a brahmachari for 1 or 2 years. And 10 years passed by, 15 years passed by. So, even devotees never thought I could be a brahmachari for life. Because I don't look serious. I'm serious inside. But when you look at me outside, I don't look so serious. Yeah, I just look like a soft boy. Yeah, I don't look so serious. Even people, when they see me, how did he become a sannyasi? He doesn't look like a sannyasi. Sannyasi is something very, very, very serious. But I look like a youth. Yes, now I'm 67, but I look like youth. Yeah, I don't look like, like people of my age. So people tend to think that I'm just a soft kind of guy. So even when I was a brahmachari, not many people thought I would last as a brahmachari because I kind of grew up in Christian schools. I was wearing pajamas, gowns, like a prince. They thought I was like a Vishai. Yes, but I'm very serious inside. In my life, I never went to a nightclub. I never saw a drug. Yeah, I never saw those things. I just read about them in Prabhupada's books. I can stay in my room for weeks and weeks reading books. Since I was a child, I like to read books. Doesn't matter what. I can read books. I'm not a person of socializing. Yeah, sometimes my friends will go for all kind of things. I'll just stay at home. I never went out. Yeah, I was never interested in those things. So when I became brahmacharis, even devotees never thought I'll become brahmachari for good. When I became sannyas, the whole world was surprised. Yeah, they thought, how possible? Yes, and then later they realized actually I'm not what I look. I'm a very serious person. Yeah, once I've decided I'm going to do something, I have to do it. Yeah, I have to do it. Yeah. Even some people used to say that if I go to Russia in winter, I will die. I said, no, I will not die. I went to Russia. I went to Siberia. Russia was so cold that a big river of Ganga was frozen ice. I used to do ski on it. Yes. Even in Russia in winter I've been. Yes, so I can take even ice frigid cold. When I mean to go there, I'll go. So in that way, but you cannot tell when you look at me external. But I've been to Russia in freezing cold. In Siberia, it's very cold. It's colder than Moscow. I've been there. Yet Russians thought that I will die if I go to Russia. I didn't die. I went there, I came back. So in that way, I'm a very serious person, but outside I don't look so. And I would say the reason why I came to ISKCON was suffering. Yes, suffering can mean so many things. Psychologically, physically. I think for me it was more psychological because of what the government system was doing. And as a youth, we were more kind of like questioning than our fathers. Our father was my father's time. The people of my father's age, they were lesser educated than us. They were just like, yes sir, very nice, thank you. They will do everything that the white man told them. So we grew up, we said no. We started saying no, we were youth that was like rebellious to all the things that the white man put for us. And that's how we started, yeah. So because we were more of a younger generation than our parents, and yeah. So that's how we started, and so we started fighting this government from school, university, and we were fighting them. We were trying to change the regime, and so many things. They will come with guns and shoot us. Yeah, we will gather again and protest. So I come from that background. And so I've seen many of my friends dying during that time. And then after some times, I decided that I'm going to die also. There was no way, because they were shooting us. I didn't know who was the next. So then I decided this thing, the politics will always be there. It's better that I seek out spirituality and come out of this mud hole. So then when I started reading Prabhupada's books, I got all the answers that I had for years, that this is karma, and this karma is temporal. It can change by your actions. Yeah, swanaiva karmana, you can change your karma. There's a verse in Bhagavatam, 12th canto, I think it's 12th canto, chapter 6, verse number 26, says, Jivitam maranam jantu gatihi swanaiva karmana. That the jiva, by his activities, he can create his happiness and distress. No one is responsible for any person's happiness and distress. Yeah, that verse, it made me understand that it's just karma. I need to change this karma. And then I decided I'm going to change this karma. How I was going to change the karma, I decided I'm going to give up my family, give up my friends, and become Hare Krishna. Yes. So I made that vow. And then I'm still here. And it was a painful step, but the results are very good. That now I have danda. Yes, this is my partner now. This is my bhaya, the danda. Yes. So this danda stands for the mind, your body, and your words, prachara. Achara, prachara. You preach, you broadcast the message of Krishna with your mind. Manmana bhava madbhakto. Always think of me, become my devotee. Your mind will engage in thinking of Krishna. Ante chale. As God's verse. chamam eva smaran anti kalevaram. Yes, that's what Krishna says, that and those who remember me at the time of quitting the body, surely they will attain me. So engage your mind in always remembering Krishna. So that's what the danda stands for. So the mind is like cows. Just like cowhead boys, they always carry a stick to get the cows on the straight and the narrow when they are going off the rails. So our mind is like the chanchala himana Krishna. So when your mind goes off, you have to the danda. Yes, it's for my mind, it's not for anybody else. Yes, it's not for anyone else, it's for beating one's mind. So in that way, when you realize that you are suffering, and then you can appreciate Krishna consciousness. That's what I realized. I was suffering. And people are still suffering even today. I can see some of my friends, they are still suffering even today. I had to come out of this cycle of suffering by taking Krishna consciousness, and that's it. Once I've decided I want to do this, I do it. It's just like some years ago, I decided as a sannyas I'm going to do Bhakti Vaibhav. When I came, they've never seen a Swami who come and submit himself as a student. The teachers were shocked. Because I'm a Swami, and now I came to be a student. And then I told them, in the classroom I'm a student. You can treat me like any student. But when you see me outside with my danda, I'm sannyas. I'm not your student outside this class. Here you are my boss here. You can chastise me. I told them, yeah. I'm going to do my assignments. I'm going to write exam, everything. Don't do me any favor. I'm going to do everything like any student. But when you see me outside, I'm not your student. I'm a Swami. Watch out. So that's an agreement, and I studied. I went through Bhakti Vaibhava 1. Next year I did Bhakti Vaibhava 2. Passed, I went to Bhakti Vedanta 4 years. Yeah. I didn't stop. From Bhakti Vaibhava, I went to Bhakti Vedanta 4 years. Yeah. So I'm a very determined person. When I want to do something, whether it's studying or what, I give my life to it. So in that way, I was suffering, and then I realized I was suffering. That's how I came to Krishna consciousness. And then I became a student, and I'm still a student. I'm still learning many things. Yes. Just now, I just came from the course in my post called Spiritual Management. I'm still learning. Yes, I'm still learning. But there is one thing I want to learn now, is Hindi. Yes. So because I come to India most of the time, but I think for that I need to go to the class. These things online, they are very difficult for me. And I prefer going to the class, interacting, asking questions. Writing exams online was very difficult when I was doing Bhakti Vedanta during COVID. Sometimes we are writing exam, this computer just stopped. Yeah, it's just a stop. You have to call them to send you another paper. Yeah, I'm from the old school. I'm not good with computers. When they jam, I don't know what to do. Yeah, you just lose everything that you have written. You have to start again. So I wouldn't like to study online because I had hard time. Yeah, it's like when we were doing Bhakti Vedanta, we finished the course online. It was very difficult for most of us. Like when you write exam on paper, you can just browse through the questions. You select the easy one, you answer, and then you come back to the difficult ones. But on a computer, it just gives you one question. You have to answer that before you go to the next one. So it's just like, it just works against us. Yeah, these courses online, they're like that. It's set in such a way that you finish this question and then it gives you another question. You answer that and then like that. But on paper, I can kind of like, change and, yeah, I was used to that system. So I just decided I'm not going to go do any serious course online. I would like to go to the class where I can interact with the teachers and adjust accordingly. So in that way, that's how I came to Krishna consciousness. I was a kind of a youth that was inquisitive. Yeah, I'm an inquisitive person by nature. So I had so many questions that were not answered, and when I came to Krishna consciousness, and then Prabhupada's books answered all my questions about karma, about reincarnation, and about creation. Yeah, now it's clear. I think that's what brought me here, and I made sure that I stay in Krishna consciousness. Now it's about 41 years since I came first time, and yeah, I'm still trying to serve Prabhupada with all my abilities. Yes, it can go with karma also. Yeah. For me, I was meant to be what I am doing. Yeah, because I don't think enjoying life in this world was for me. Because even as a kid, I was not interested. I was just interested in studying and spiritual life. Because I went to the school of theology in Christianity. Since I was a child, from time I was 8, I was already in school of theology, studying the Bible deeper. So, because I knew that in future I will be a priest. From the time I was 9 years, I knew in future I would like to be a priest, not an enjoyer fishery. Yeah, that was my determination. So I studied the theology in Christianity, and I think that kind of like helped me a lot also to prepare me for what I'm doing now. Because I understand Christianity and the Bible, I'm able to discuss with Christian scholars or someone who comes from Christianity. Like in the West, most people come from Christianity, the Christian background that we preach to. I'm able to handle them because they also prefer someone who understands where they come from. Because they have some questions that I had. Yeah. So in that way, that background also helps me in the West, I can be in Italy, I can be in Switzerland. I deal well with Western people because I was a Christian. The only religion that they understand is Christianity. So it helps me also, in my preaching to deal with the people who come from that background. Any other question?
Hare Krishna. My question is, when we start chanting, we get a taste in that mantra, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. What is your journey in chanting and how the taste that in starting we get a higher taste and then we after some time get that taste again. So what is your journey and how to we develop that our chanting and again get that higher taste?
That's a very good question. I like your question because it has to do with the developing the taste, chanting the holy name. There are 3 levels of chanting. One is called Nama Bas. There is Nama Aparat, and then the last stage is called Sudanam. So Nama Bas is like when the sun begins to rise, you are seeing but it's not clear. You see? And then Aparat, Nama Aparat, and then it's a stage when your offense is clear in the heart. And then the Sudanam, pure name, is like when the sun has fully arisen in our heart. Like when the sun is up here, we see everything clearly. So the first stage is when we are just beginning. We are innocent, and then we get like some taste for the holy name. But then after some times, our offenses may kind of like dim or create a situation of stagnation. Yes. So to rise above the stage of Aparat, we need to follow the system of 10 offenses. That's why in the morning we recite 10 offenses against the holy name. So when we are successful in avoiding the offenses, and then we can come to fully blossomed name, Sudanam. Yeah, and then the taste will be more and more and more and more. You will want to chant all the time. Like some young boy asked me, he said, I always see you always chanting. I said, because I chant 65 rounds every day. That's why you see me chanting japa all the time. Because I've given myself a target of chanting 65 rounds every day, sometimes 70 or 80. Yes, so I start my chanting at 3 o'clock in the morning. I get up at 2. By 3 o'clock I chant. Takes me about maybe 7 hours, even more, depending on where I am. Yeah, so can take longer, but I always desire to chant more and more and more. Because I teach japa. I do japa seminars in Europe and South America. So I had to chant more and more. Because there is achara, there is prachara. Achara means prachara means to teach, to speak. Achara means to behave well. So you teach the holy name, but you have to be seen chanting the holy name yourself. So in that way, because I'm a teacher, so I have to practice what I'm teaching. Everything that I teach people, I have to practice myself. And then become easy. Achara, prachara. Prachara, achara. You speak, you practice. So the holy name, in order to advance in chanting and come to the platform of Sudanam, we have to practice. Avoiding 10 offenses. Also, we have to practice being attentive while chanting. There are so many ways. This is not a Japa seminar. In Japa seminar, we discuss many things. But that's how we can advance in our chanting, by decreasing time for prajapa and engaging more in chanting. Sometimes you are chanting, your mind is in prajapa already. Yeah, I wonder what Rakesh is doing today. Your mind is in what Rakesh is doing, but you are chanting. So prajapa can be in the mind also. The mind is wandering. What I call vikshepta. Yes. Mind has a tendency to wander. So that is why I chant many rounds. Is to keep my mind absorbed in the holy name. Sometimes, not sometimes, always, we just chant just to finish 16 rounds. When we finish 16 rounds, we take japa and say, okay, put it there. Jai, I'm dying. We're just chanting out of duty. I have passed all those stages just for chanting 16 rounds because I'm an initiated devotee. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Oh, Jai, 16 rounds, okay. Yes, now I'm chanting for the taste. I have a taste for the holy name. Yes, I'm enjoying Nam now, not 16 rounds. I don't count 16 rounds. Yeah. I can chant up to 80 rounds a day, no problem. It just depends on how much time I have. Yeah. Because I'm not chanting for 60 rounds or 32 rounds. Yeah, I'm just chanting. I'm addicted now to chanting. I like it. Everyone I carry my book. Even if I know I'm going to talk there, my japa has to with me. So if I get like 5-10 minutes and then I chant japa. So it takes great loliam, Rupa Goswami. If you are greedy for the holy name will reciprocate with you. You have to become greedy. You see? Like I was greedy for Bhagavatam, that's why as a sannyasa I submitted myself as a student. I was the first person to do that. It's not easy. Yeah, and then you just be a student when you're a sannyasa. Because automatically people think that you have knowledge. But I realized I didn't have knowledge. I needed to study Bhagavatam systematically. Yeah, write exams, all that, so that I can teach. If you want to teach something, you have to become a student. You need to be taught, and then you can teach. And then I did Teachers Training 1, I did Teachers Training 2 also. Yes, because I wanted to, not to preach to people, but to teach them. Like now I can say, I don't have to say you are in Maya, I have to explain what is Maya, how does it work. You understand? It's easy for people to accept. You just say we are in Maya. I don't say people are in Maya, I just explain to them how Maya works. Yes, and where does Maya hide? In our mind, in our senses, and our intelligence. Yeah, so it's easy for people to listen. Then you saying they are in Maya, but you can just, what is Maya? How Maya works. And then the person will realize, oh yes, I'm in Maya. Yes, so in that way, I had to submit myself to some formal training to be able to present things I'm presenting today. Like this morning, I was presenting the Chatur Shlokas of Bhagavatam. Because I went for the course. Yes. There was a course on Chatur Shlokas Bhagavatam by Bhakti Narsimha Maharaj. I went for that course. Also they are part of Bhakti Baba. Yes. Bhakti Baba 1 is from 1st canto to 3rd canto. Bhakti Baba 2, 4th canto, 5th canto to 6th canto. Yes, yes. And then you get a degree, Bhakti Baba. And then we went for Bhakti Vedanta. Yeah, 7th canto, 8th canto, 9th canto, 10th canto, 11, 12. There you write exams, you read seriously, because there are so many points that come out during that. Yeah, so you are like systematic. And it gives you skill. And then when you preach or when you want to present to people, you have skills for presenting to people. So that's why I went for courses. It gave me, like one Swami came to me, I was giving the class where that new temple, Karga, it's called Karga. One Swami was hearing, and he came to me, he said, you from Bhakti Baba? I said, yes. He said, I can hear the way you are speaking, you are trained. Yeah, he was surprised. He said, yeah, I can tell the way you gave this class, that you are just giving the books as it is, like. I said, yeah, it's amazing. But I had to submit myself to training. Yeah, to be able to present the scripture the way I do today. I just teach, basically. I don't preach. Tell people you are in Maya. I just say this is Maya, how she works. Yeah, so it's different. Yeah, so, but I had that determination to learn. Even now, I can do any other course. That's why I want to learn Hindi. I just need to find the right school. And then I'll put my danda aside and be a student. And then learn. So because I like India, I always come to India. So the main language in India is Hindi. It's a national language. If I speak Hindi, I can speak any part of India. Yeah, I can communicate. I may not know Malathi or Bengali or whatever, but just the Hindi will be understood in any part of India. Someone will know Hindi. Yeah, even in South India, there are some people who know Hindi. Yes. You'll find someone to communicate with. But if I only know, say, Tamil, And then I can communicate in South India only. If I know Malathi, and then I can only communicate in Maharashtra. Yes, but if I know Hindi, if I'm in Bengal, people know Hindi. Even here, people, they may speak Malathi, but they will understand when you speak in Hindi. Yes, so there's a language of balance in India. Any other question?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. So I have a question about behaviors. Actually, I am working professional, and in my team, nearly all the knows like I am following Krishna consciousness.
Yes.
So there I come across various situations where I get angry. So
Yes.
I shout at my teammates and all. So they said, "Hey, you are ISKCON devotee. You should be very sweet and calm. You should not be." So I need to understand how to behave like a good devotee, because I don't know, Maharajji.
Yes, actually, I wrote a book some years ago. It was called Personal Marketing for Marketing and Sales Students. And we discussed, in that book, we were discussing how to master our emotions like anger, disappointments, emotions of feeling overloaded. Yeah. So anger is a message to us. What is that message? Is that we have certain rules or certain principles that somebody else has violated. Yes. The antidote to anger is that another person may not know what are our rules. They may not even have intention to break our rules. So when we become angry, we display our irritations, we display our impatience, we display our intolerance and make ourselves social irrelevant. That's why at work they say, you're supposed to be sweet because you're a devotee. So that's what they're expecting from someone who's a devotee. They think that all the devotees have become masters of anger and other emotions. It's true. They expect that. It's like people who are practicing yoga, meditation, they are expected to be calm and sweet and But if someone says, I'm from TM, from Transcendental Meditation, but he's angry, people will not believe that he's practicing Transcendental Meditation or any yoga or meditation system. So in a similar way, because we are devotees, people expect that we have a control of our mind and anger. So the way to control anger is the understanding that the other person had no intentions to break our rules. He may just act out of innocence. Yes, not knowing that he's poaching on our preserves. And another way of controlling anger is to apply detachment. It also means that we have a lot of expectations from other people, which cannot be met. Yes, we have certain expectations which cannot be met. You understand? Yes, you have to work on yourself.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Actually, my question is regarding book reading. So as you said, you were very fond of reading books from childhood, and still you are learning, and you're still interested in reading books and all the spiritual things. So my question is that when I start reading books, sometimes I feel very enthusiastic, and sometimes I finish something with understanding what Prabhupada wants to tell us and what he teaches. But sometimes I feel fall in sleep while reading the books, and sometimes I don't feel that much enthusiasm and motivated. So how can I improve that? How can I read Prabhupada books very enthusiastically, very scrutinizingly, what Prabhupada wants, what his intention is? How can I develop that attachment, and how can I improve and implement that in my life? How can I achieve, and how can I do that, Prabhu?
That's a very good question. How can we improve reading Prabhupada's books? You can join the Bhakti Shastra team. And that will help you to improve Prabhupada's books. That's what I did. And I joined Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti Vedanta. Actually, even before Bhakti Shastri, I did Bhagavad Gita overview in Vrindavan. Yes, you can take some courses like Bhagavad Gita overview. Maybe Bhakti Vaibhava may be difficult for you. But some small courses. Yes, there are some courses where they teach science of self-realization, other small books. Yes, because that's formal. But if you read by yourself in the room, you are like selective. You just select what you like. Things that you don't like, they make you fall asleep. But when you are doing a course, you have to read everything, because the discussions during the course are about the whole book. So we have to cover the whole book. So you should try to do some courses like Bhagavad Gita overview. And then if you are more enthusiastic, you can do Bhakti Shastra. There you write exams, you write essays. Yeah, your ability to study Prabhupada books will increase. Your memory also. Yes. I think that's the only way to take courses. It helps you to increase your ability and mental power. You see, to read Prabhupada's books. Like me, most of the things come from memory now because I studied. I did a course. Like today, I think yesterday I went to sleep by 11. I was reading. By the time I realized it was 11. And then I got up at 2. Before the alarm clock rang, I set my alarm for 2. By 10 to 2 I was up. My body is used to that, reading at night until I sleep late, but in the morning I'll get up, same time, 2 o'clock. So in that way, if you go for the course, it will kind of like, increase your determination to read books, your taste will increase. And everything takes hard work. They say no pain, no gain. Yes, that's my slogan. I don't want anything that I don't work for. Yes, I work hard for things. Even studying. I don't mind going for a course, writing exams. Because in the end of the day, it's me who need that knowledge. And like to give an example. When I was asked to apply for sannyas, I didn't have Bhakti Shastra. I think I'd gone through Bhagavad Gita overview when I first went to India. I never did Bhakti Shastra. I think maybe, yeah, what I did, I had a Bhakti Shastra study guide from Mayapur. That's what I read by myself, but I didn't go for the course. I didn't have a Bhakti Shastra certificate. So then I went for interviews with the GPC. I passed. They asked me, where is your Bhakti Shastra? I said, no, I don't have Bhakti Shastra, but I will do it here in Mayapur. And then before GPC meetings, the course will be over and then I will submit. And then I did that. And then I went for the course after the interviews. And then we finished Bhakti Shastri before Gaur Punim. And then I made a copy and then I took it to the GPC, to the Sannyas chairman. I said, here is my copy, Prophet. Okay, I said, very good part. Yes. So that way, in future, many things will require Bhakti Shastri degree. Like if you want to take second initiation, they will ask you, where is the Bhakti Shastri? Yeah, you understand? Yes. Like if you want to take sannyasa, so they ask for Bhakti Shastri. I didn't know that. I didn't have Bhakti Shastri. I just went for interviews. So then I had to do Bhakti Shastri to accompany my application. So for you, it's better to take one of those courses, Bhakti Shastri, because nowadays they are compulsory, not like in our time. If you want to, when you take second initiation, they may ask for it. But also it helps you to go deeper into the Bhagavatam and other books. I mean the Bhagavad Gita and other books that are used for Bhakti Shastra. And then also, after doing Bhakti Shastra, you can teach Bhakti Shastra to the new devotees. Yeah. Just like sometimes I teach Bhakti Bible in Brazil, and I can teach Bhakti Vedanta also, because I went through these courses, so it's easy for me to teach them. I still have all my study cards from Bhakti Bible to Bhakti Vedanta. I have all of them. All the courses that I went through, I keep the study cards. Leadership, I did leadership, management with Anuttam in 2003. I still have all those study guides that we were using for that course. Every course I keep, because maybe in future I would like to teach that course, or something like that may happen, and then I can use those books. And the notes from those courses I keep for me to teach others if I happen to be asked to teach a course. So in that way, studying formally is the best way for increasing your ability to study Prabhupada's books. That's my experience, because I went through the system myself. In that today, if I'm going to give the class, okay, I have to know what is the verse. Already I know the subject of the entire chapter, because I went through all these books, all these chapters, all these cantos. Yeah. So then my mind will just remember what points are applicable. Today's verse was from chapter 48, 10th canto. It's talking about the people who are born into this world, that they are subject to death. For them, due to their limitations, they cannot understand the nature of God. See? So then immediately, because of my experience, I went back to second canto, Chatur Shloka. Jnana Parama Goyamme Yad Vijnana Samanvitaha Sara Hasyam Angam Cha Grihana Gatitam Maya. The Lord tells Brahma that this knowledge is very confidential, is Guyam. but it can be understood in conjunction with Bhakti Narsimha. Ready? And then he further, after that he explained, he answers how he is within everything and how he is Yata Mahanta Bhutani Bhuteshu Savaseshu Pravishtani Pravishtani Tatateshu Nateshu Aham. Just as the material elements are within everything, yet they are outside of everything, similarly I, the personality of God, I'm within everything, yet I'm outside of it. So he refers to himself as Paramatma. And then before that he says, Aham eva sham eva gri. In the beginning it was I who existed. Whatever you see in the form of this material creation is still I, meaning it's my energy. What will remain in the end at the time of dissolution is still I, the personality of God. So I'm the beginning, I'm the middle, and the end of everything. Yes. So that way, when you go through the courses, you easily get to understand the scripture deeper, because we write exams, so we have to study scrutinizingly. So when you give the class, you can give a class from any canto. Immediately you will remember what verses from other cantos explain elaborately what is spoken about. Yeah. So it gives that ability. Yeah. From the scripture itself, you can draw from first canto, you can draw from any part, because the same subjects are in all cantos. So in that way, your knowledge of Bhagavatam become, but you have to apply it. You study, and then you apply the knowledge from the course. Yeah. And then your mind become like that. Yes, from your memory, yeah, the slokas that are applicable to that subject will come. Yeah. So it becomes very easy. Sometimes people are speaking, you don't understand what they're talking about. Yeah, he starts with the verse and then he says so many things, you don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, see, I've been to classes like that where you don't understand what the person is talking about, and then you fall asleep. But if the person is able to capture your imagination, you see, you stay awake, because we understand what he's talking about. You know, all the points are clear, you know, but some people don't know what he's talking about. You get lost and then the man falls asleep. Immediately Nito Devi, he takes over. Yeah. So training, formal training is very important. It's just like Prabhupada gave an example that long ago in India there was a case. So this lawyer, he was fighting a case, but the judge was always like not understanding his points. So one day he came with a whole library of books to the court. So the judge asked him, he said, Mr. So-and-so, you have brought your whole library to the course. Why? He said, my lord, I have come to teach you law. I can see that you have forgotten law. Some people go to courses, but they forgot what they have studied. They start arguing based on how they feel. This law said, I can see you are arguing based on how you feel. Me, I'm a lawyer. I have to present books as they are. Yeah, so I have come here to teach you law. Yes, so the judge understood. So in that way, also Prabhupada said we should be like that. So there was one case in America, they were claiming that we are just a cult, we are misleading the youth. They opened a court case for us, for ISKCON. So Prabhupada, he told the devotee who was dealing with that case in New York, Said, just take all our books, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, present it to the judge. Ask him to read those books and make his judgment if we are a cult or we are a bona fide religion. So that devotee did the same thing. He took the whole set of Bhagavatam and other books and he presented to this judge. He said, because the case is about us being just a cult here in America, you read all these books and then you can make your judgment. So in that way, the judge, after reading our books, few of them, and he realized these people are bona fide, they are following the authorized culture that goes back to like many years. Yeah, the case was dismissed. Yeah. So in that way, studying our books systematically also can help us, to present a sound case. Because some people think that we are just like a cult, but we are not a cult. We come from a very old Vedic tradition. You understand? Yeah, so I encourage all of you to do courses like Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, up to Bhakti Vedanta. Because we are young, you are not old like me, you have all the time. You can do it bit by bit, maybe in 20 years if you want. You'll be still young even in 20 years from now. Okay? That's how you can get your mind to be fixed. Yes. Another question?
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Maharaj. Very nice, enlightening question-answer session. And what inspiration give us, like your initial struggle before coming to Krishna consciousness, like suffering, and also coming. Yesterday you spoke about your struggle after joining ashram also, like no too much facility. So now my question is that, like, what should be the motivation? It's like what should be the motivation, like to become monk? Like you get indication from your child only. When today's, like in India, the life is very comfortable. People are attached to their family lives, and they have their career, many ambitious nature. And sometimes they feel this life is also good, monk life, sadhu life, living in the ashram. But still they get confused to choose. So what should the person must have the thing which help us to choose the monk life, or either in grihastha life also. So that was my question.
Your question is how we can
choose, in one sense, choose the ashram. Choose the ashram, either a brahmachari ashram or grihastha ashram. What the person must have that qualification.
The qualifications. I would say it depends on realizations. A person, there are different ways of being intelligent. Like I was telling some young people that when I was doing the teacher's training course, we were studying the theory of Professor Gardner. Professor Gardner was a sociology professor at Harvard University in the 80s. So he did his research and discovered that people have different types of intelligence. Some have kinestetical intelligence. Some people have botany intelligence, they are good with plants. Conservative. Some people they will have what you call logical, mathematical intelligence, and some people have interpersonal intelligence. Some people they have what you call like people who are architecture, designers, they have that type of intelligence. Picture intelligence, They are able to draw pictures. And other people, they may have what is called intrapersonal intelligence. Interpersonal intelligence is intelligence of people who are self-motivated, who gain inspiration from themselves. They're very introspective. Whereas other people have interpersonal intelligence, which is intelligence of politicians and media people. They mesmerize people with their speaking abilities. You get people like that? Yeah, who are very good speakers, but when come to work, they can't do anything. There's nothing to show. Yeah. But they can really mesmerize you. So interpersonal intelligence, that of politicians and media people, and then intra is INTRA, is intelligence of people who are more introvert. They spend time studying, researching. They're not into socializing, and they're more inward. So those people can survive difficult situations. Yeah, they study things, everything that they see in life. They want to know in details. They want to know what is the cause of this problem. For example, in social engineering, there is a concept of preventive and crisis management. So crisis management means you passionately want to do things. You are just moved by circumstances. In crisis management, you allow things to come to the point of crisis. Yeah, you can drive a car to the ground. When it's broken, you want to fix it, and you pay more money. Whereas preventive management means that any car or any machine, you know exactly for how many months it will run before it needs services. If it's 6 months, when it comes to 6 months, you take it in for service. If that car can run for 10 months before service, 10 months, you take it for service. That's what is called preventive management. You prevent things before they happen. You understand? So a person of intrapersonal intelligence, he prevents things before they happen. Yeah, he avoids crisis. So in that way, his happiness is internal, is not external. So that person can survive most difficult situations. Because he's already studying crisis, he is aware of crisis. Difficulties come from crisis life, where people are just living. In my book, also Personal Marketing, I wrote about what is called Victoria Falls Syndrome. The Victoria Falls Syndrome, there is a big lake in southern Africa called Victoria. It's not a lake, the waterfall, Victoria Falls, is world famous. It's one of the wonders of the world. So you are on the river, the Zambezi coming down, rowing your boat, not knowing that there's a rock ahead. As you hear tons of water falling below, and then you will start to wonder, how did I get this place? and then it will be difficult to row your boat backward. The water will be pushing you towards the fall. And then the only option you have to jump out of the boat. If you are a good swimmer, swim very fast out of the river. So in life sometimes we are just riding on the boat of the mind. In Bhagavad it's called the mental chariot. You're riding on the chariot of the mind. But ahead there is an obstacle. Yes. So in that way, preventive management means you are aware of what is ahead. Yes. So in that way, that person, he is always in his place. He is never put in his place by anybody. Yes, he's always in his place. That's what's called interpersonal intelligence. He's always in his place. A person of crisis is always out of place. He needs people to put him in his place all the time. So in that way, the question about how to be a monk, it means you develop another type of intelligence. It's called intrapersonal intelligence. You are always in your place. Yeah, it's a person who's introspective, who's always observant. He can prevent crises before they happen. Because they do happen. Now one day, I was giving the class. I was in South America. So then after the class, I went to the room with one boy. Abai, he was helping me. So when we got into the room, he went down to get me prasadam. It was a Sunday feast. While he left the door open, no, just we didn't expect anything. I was just there chanting. And then one young lady came. She sat in front of me crying, said, I have fallen in love with you. After hearing and giving this, I just fell in love with you. I said, oh, that's like a favor. We just told it you will go away. I was buying time and then Abai came. When Abai came, he was wondering, oh, when did this person come in here? He ran down, he called his father. And then his father came and took that young lady out. Yeah. You never get a test like that in there, huh? Not. But when you preach in the West, this is how you are tested. You face Maya face to face. So I just chill out, be cool. Yeah, just be cool. I saw one video. The Pope, not the Pope, the current Pope, there's another Pope that died last year. So popes are like celibates like us, they are monks like us. So he was going around greeting people, shaking hands. He came to one lady, this lady grabbed him and pulled him towards her. The Pope was shocked and slapped this lady to free himself. So people say, how can he act like that with anger? He's a Pope. You see? So people started debating, why did he slap? The Pope was right to slap the threat. This is a criminal act. You just grab someone like that. So that instinct of defending yourself is there natural. You see, it's like you're going and then some dog come and grab you. You hit, you slap it or kick it to free of it. It's just something natural, you see. Yeah. So in that way, this Pope was just grabbed like that. And he slapped her. So people were commenting, it's natural. Yeah. That someone will defend himself when he is attacked. But, so you expect these things to happen. He didn't expect that. Yeah, it was suddenly it was good. Yeah. So you have to train yourself for such incidents that may happen. How to behave when some unexpected surprises present themselves. You train yourself. This is what we call preventive management. You condition yourself. Like in sports, they call it conditioning, self-conditioning. Like I was in karate, all these fighting sports, where you get hit. You have to get used to being hit. Yes, because during the tournaments, they really hit you. And then you go blank. You know, when they hit you here, you see stars. So, in practice, in the gym, you have to sometimes allow yourself to be hit, because in a tournament you're going to get hit. Because if you're not used to get hit, you just go blank. Huh? So conditioning. So you have to condition yourself. Yeah. So that when you are in a situation, you don't panic. Chill out, be calm, let go and let God. So there's so many ways of conditioning yourself. I think that is too deep for your people. It's like I've been in situations like that. In one country, I was refused visa. It's like these are African countries; they're just next to each other. I didn't know that I needed a visa. So then they sent me back. So I was walking from that border gate to the other one. So I had to cross a bridge. It's dark now at night. As I was walking, I had gun trigger. There were soldiers. They thought I was a terrorist. And then I stopped. I tell you, that moment my chanting became pure. Because when I left that border, I was just chanting Hare Krishna on my beats. So when I had that trigger, gun trigger, someone is getting ready to shoot me, my chanting became very pure. But they were just guarding the border gate. They asked me for the passport, I gave them the passport, and okay. Yes, so for preaching, I've been through many, many challenging situations like that. And yes. So I was prepared. I was chanting japa. Yeah. But when I had the gun trigger and my japa became clear, my chanting became very, very pure. Well, that is last time for me to chant Hare Krishna. So that is what is called self-conditioning. Yeah. So for someone to successfully lead the life of a monk, he has to train himself for events that are not so nice. Unless if you're gonna be only in India. Yeah, in India, yes. You can have like Shanti life. Outside of India is not that Shanti. There's so many challenges. And yes. So we have to learn so many things. Okay. I don't mean to frighten you. You can still become like me, Swami. But if you don't know, you come with me. I will train you. We need more and more Swamis Grihasthas are more than millions and billions. So we encourage some of you also to try to be Swamis and sacrifice your life, for preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya. Of course, people say, yes, Grihasthas are preaching. Yes, it's true. They are preaching. But a Swami can preach all over. Yeah. A Grihastha can stay in his own country because he has children, he has responsibilities. But Swamis are the ones that can go to many places. Yes. You see, many organizations, they are here because someone sacrificed. Prabhupada sacrificed his life as a result to have this International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And the early devotees, the Western devotees, Americans and Europeans, they sacrificed a lot when they started this International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Even in India, it's the Europeans and Americans who began preaching here in India. It was very difficult for many, many years. Indian devotees were not joining. They started joining in the 80s. In the 70s, early 70s, devotees came in. No. There were not many people, local Indian people joining. They were trying, and in the 80s, things changed a bit. Now we have crores and crores of devotees in India. It's because those early devotees sacrificed. They made books available in Hindi, Marathi, Bengali, Gujarati. Yeah, now we are just pulling a Gujarati book, a Marathi book, but the work that was put behind producing books, these books in the beginning was quite hard. Devotees stayed up trying to get these books together for the publication. So what I'm saying, in life, there's always someone who makes a sacrifice. And if people stop making sacrifice, and then there won't be any progress. So for the International Society for Krishna Consciousness to be here today, some devotees made a lot of sacrifice, beginning with Prabhupada himself. Now we have books in almost all the languages in the world, but they had no books, those devotees in the beginning. They had to make these books, get them translated. They worked really hard. So our preaching is very easy. We already have books. If someone says, I want a book in Hindi, you already have it. I want a book in Marathi, you already have it. Yeah, because someone has made these arrangements for us. So we should also try to contribute in our own way for the spreading and the maintenance of this International Society for Krishna Consciousness. At least that's my spirit. That I should do something. Prabhupada did so many things. I just came, I got the Science of Self-Realization. That was my first book. That book answered all my questions that I had for many years in my youth. So, feeling grateful, I became a book distributor, distributing Prabhupada's books, and I'm still grateful today. I want to do more and make these books available to other people all over the world. So the point is, if we have been benefited, we should benefit others. It's like when we were doing safari last year in South India, we visited the temple where Ramanujacharya climbed the temple and stood on top of the roof of the temple and announced his mantra for liberation. I was thinking this was very nice. Yeah, he was giving the mantra by his guru as a secret mantra, but when he got to know this mantra can liberate people, he announced it in public. So I went to that temple last year. So that way, we've been also benefited by this movement. We should also distribute this knowledge to other people as a service to Srila Prabhupada, who has given us all these books that we have in this movement. Okay, anybody else?
Hare Krishna Maharaj ji. Hare Krishna. So I have a question from the yesterday's Brahmachari lecture. In that lecture you have told that we should practice austerity by voluntary practice austerity. So my question was, should we practice austerity by force or should it be natural? Because if we just practice by force, then for some time we can practice and again just the condition will become just worse than previous. So it should just for support our sadhana, or should be the austerity to get on the mode of goodness, and then we can practice our sadhana properly.
Force is not required. We can encourage people to practice austerity, not by force. We have a lot of austerities. Even just to be a vegetarian is an austerity, and to eat only Krishna Prasada, that's an austerity. And not going to cinema, that's an austerity. And people would like to be in Bollywood presentations, to not go for that, that's tapasya. To not eat onion, garlic, that's tapasya, that's austerity. So we don't need like extra for tapasya. We have enough. We just have to moderate. Yes. Because the important thing is to preach or to teach Krishna consciousness. So in order to do so, we need to take care of ourselves, make sure that we are healthy, we are not sick, we are sound, we are not crazy. Sometimes people perform too much austerity and they just destroy themselves. Yeah. We have to be moderate in our austerities and everything that we are doing. Otherwise, if it's just only austerity, and we could make ourselves socially irrelevant. That's why I was saying, instead of telling people they're in Maya, we have to teach them what is Maya, how Maya works. Because people get tired of hearing that they're in Maya. It's just like in Christianity. There's this hell preaching Christians. You're going to hell, you're going to hell, you're going to hell. And people get frightened. Yes. But if you tell them that life in Swargaloka is better than life in Mumbai, they will learn to listen. What is better there that we don't have in Mumbai? And then you start explaining. Yeah, that's much better than just telling them that they are going to hell. But you can go to a better place by your activities. And then slowly you can explain higher conceptions of philosophy. So austerity also is like that. has to be taken moderately. We have to be moderate in our austerities. Don't be too extreme. Just like in some places it's very cold, and then you take cold water, you get sick. Yeah, make it lukewarm. Not cold, not too hot. Just actually water in India is like that. In many places water in India is not cold, it's warm, but it comes from the pump. Yeah. Even in winter, it's still warm, the water that comes from the pump in India. But the water that comes from the tap is very cold. Yeah, it absorbs the temperatures. So in that way we have to be moderate, like the pump water in India. It's not cold, it's warmer, even in winter, unlike the one that stays in the pipeline. Okay. Anybody else with a question?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
My question is about realization.
Realization, yes.
Why is it so difficult to realize while we have knowledge of it?
Why it is difficult to realize what?
While we have knowledge of it. We have knowledge that this thing is wrong, still we do it.
Okay.
Because of
Yes. Sometimes we may know something is wrong, we keep on doing it. Prabhupada gave an example in I think the second verse of Upadesamrita, that sometimes a thief knows that stealing is wrong, he will be arrested, but he still steals. Why? Because he has a taste for stealing. This taste for stealing, it comes from the idea, why should I work when there are so many fools that I can take things from? I'm very clever, I don't have to work, I just steal from these fools. That's what the thief is stealing. He got caught and he has heard that people who steal, they are arrested and they are punished. But his desire to get things for free without working for them is what propels them. Like in Bhagavad Gita, there are 14 verses that are said to be the real questions of Arjuna. One of them is in chapter 3, verse number 36. There he is asking, what is it that propels man to sin, even against his will? And Krishna says, it's lust only, O Arjuna. Yes, he knows that stealing will lead to jail, but because he is greedy for other people's properties, he can't stop himself from stealing. So that's the reason. So we have knowledge, it's theoretical. Like I was giving the class the other day. I think even yesterday, in the beginning I mentioned that whatever we hear falls into three categories. We gain knowledge which is theoretical. Number two, we gain what is called skills, means when we put that knowledge to action, it becomes a skill. And then number three is what we call values. is important about that. So unless that knowledge is put into practice, it cannot become a skill. We hear, but that hearing does not help us because we don't put into practice. That is difficult. It's like Arjuna is talking in the beginning. He says so many things. What did Krishna say? He said, even though you are talking like a pandit, you are not a pandit. It's very, very surprising, how Krishna responds. Yeah, why? Because those who are real pandit, they don't lament for what you are lamenting for. That's what Krishna says. So the whole chapter 2 is telling Arjuna who he is. You are not this body, you are the soul. The soul has not that. The soul cannot be harmed by any weapon. He is eternal. He has no beginning, has no end. And then after that, after hearing the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, and Arjuna said, oh, now my illusion is gone. Now you may instruct me as you please. So theoretical knowledge may be there. Like Arjuna, he was talking. I heard by disciplic succession that those who destroy family traditions dwell in hell. How do you expect me to engage in this civil war where I will be exchanging weapons with great personalities like Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship? Sounds good what he's saying. His argument is good, but it's just based on his bodily interest. These people were promoting adharma. So like that. So unless we have some deeper realizations, we'll be talking like Arjuna. These people are worthy of my worship. How can I exchange arrows with them? He has forgotten that the same people were sitting there when Draupadi was harassed by Dushasana. Yes, they were there. They didn't do anything. So they took part in adharma. They were liable for punishment. So in that way, realized knowledge is important. Whereas Arjuna was like putting forth so many points. When all these people are killed and Varnashankara will arise. When Varnashankara arises in our society, the ancestors will not be offered water and food. Yeah. All these arguments are brilliant. And then these three dharma will be lost because there will be no good men to protect women, and then unwanted children, they will create unwanted population. Yeah. So, but I didn't realize that the reason for this war was to clear adharma and establish dharma. So in that way, theoretical knowledge doesn't help. It has to be realized. Prabhupada, in the perfection of yoga, in one of the purports there, he says that, give an example of a yogi who goes to the forest to do meditation. He says first thing he has to know why he's going to the forest. He has to have a big why am I going to the forest to do my medicine in the forest. Why? Because in the forest there are mosquitoes, there are snakes, there are so many other disturbing kind of little and big creatures. It's just like one prince called, in Mahabharata, called Uttara Kumar. We heard of that prince? He was a Matsya prince, the province where the Pandavas were staying during the last days of exile. He was the son of one king, what is his name? Vital, her name? Huh? Vilas Maharaj, yes. He was the son of Vilas Maharaj, the brother of Abhimanyu's mother, Uttara. Yes. So the Kauravas, they came, they attacked the kingdom, they took the cows. And then Uttara Kumar became angry. He made a vow in front of his sisters that single-handedly I'm going to challenge the Kauravas, defeat them and bring back our cows. Just see my power, wait here. He said, I'll defeat Bhishma, I'll defeat Karna and Duryodhana and Ashwatthama. After defeating them, I'll cut pieces of cloth from their expensive silk cloths and bring them to you girls. You make dolls out of it. The girls were happy. Yeah, he was just like praising himself for nothing. He had never met Ashwatthama and met, Bhishma or Drona before. Now he's making predictions, and this is how I'm going to defeat them. And then the palace girls were cheering, this guy is a hero. And then Arjuna was there, he was listening. He was saying, I want to see that, how he's going to defeat all these great Kaurava warriors. And he said, my dear hero, I want to be a chariot driver. Yeah, I want to be there when you perform this task of defeating the Kauravas. So Arjuna went on the chariot, and then he drove. And he went to the place where the Kauravas were sitting. And then from far, he could see them. Arjuna was driving. The chariot came closer. Now, Uttara Kumar, he could see Ashwatthama with a jewel on his forehead. He was a massive warrior. He could see Karna. And he thought, no, I cannot fight these people. He told Arjuna, take the chariot back to the palace. Arjuna said, you promised all the girls in the palace that you're going to defeat all these people. They will laugh at you, you can't go back. And then the boy jumped out of the chariot and he started running. Arjuna ran after him. He was like a circus. Now, Bhishma and all of that, they are watching. These people are coming towards us. Now they are running back. What is happening? And this other fellow is dressed like a lady, but he looks like a man in his muscles. Where are these people? And then finally, Arjuna calmed, he calmed this prince and told him, actually I'm Arjuna, I'm just disguised like this. Now you drive the chariot, I will fight for you. Let's go to that sal tree, there are weapons of the Pandavas there. And he took out his sword and the Gandiva. And then he got on the chariot and he started twigging the Pandiva. And then the Kauravas, they had, wow, this is Arjuna. Yeah, and then Arjuna put them into sleep. And he said, now you go and cut the cloth from their turbans for your sisters. So that when he went to the palace, and then the king was there, he thought, my son has defeated the Kauravas. But he was afraid like anything. He didn't know the Kauravas, he never saw them. So in that way, Maya is very tricky. Yeah, when you really meet the Kauravas, you shiver. It's just like in Africa, the most powerful animal is lion. Yes. If the lion is there, the corner of that room, you are here, you shiver. It's very powerful. Without doing anything, just by seeing singer, you start shivering. It's very powerful animal. There is a place where we walk with lions. One day I was walking, and then one lion sat on my feet. It's so heavy I could not move. Yeah. I was thinking, if I move, it may just. Yeah, the lion is very powerful. The lions are very powerful. They just have that demeanor, that Shakti. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, amongst the beasts, I'm lion. It means the power of the lion is indirectly empowered by Krishna. So you must be equally powerful to face the lion. Because he is very, 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 very powerful. A very, very powerful animal. So this boy became afraid. Just by seeing these personalities like Karna, Ashwatthama. Because he had no knowledge of them. So that's theoretical knowledge. He was just talking based on theoretical knowledge, but he has not seen the Kauravas. Okay. So we hope to meet again. I will come again when I'm in Juhu.
Thanks, Maharaj, for his enlightening question and session. And of course, there are many his own life experiences, example, stories from the Mahabharata. It's very nice. So we're very, very grateful for him, and we express that gratefulness by loudly chanting one Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare